Okay, this is great. Okay, welcome everyone. Good evening to all of you. I think it's we need to do a little stamping tonight because it's just really fun things going on in the world, and we need to escape and do something that we love. So stamping is my solution. And I thought it would be fun to share with you a couple of the cards that I have made using the Quiet Curvy, really actually the dies. I did make a card with this, but I'm still working on Christmas. I did not buy the Christmas stamp set that goes with this, but I did buy the paper right here. So I have been playing with the paper and the dies, specifically these three, and I thought it would be fun to share just a couple of things that the basics, I guess you could say, to use these dies. And they will, of course, be Christmas cards. So since I didn't buy the Christmas set that goes with it, I'm going to use another stamp set. But before I get that, before I forget, here is the one card I did make with it. And these birds, are they not so cute? So cute. So I stamped this image, let's see, 2 times. And then I did the birds, all 3 birds, and I colored them with my Stampin' Blends. And then I die cut them out. And then this is from the right here. So I added that. And this was for a challenge. So this is why it looks exactly the way it is. And then for this, I used part of the die to do one side. And then oh, you know what? I think I did both. So I used it to start. Maybe I didn't. I thought I did. Well, we're going to talk about this so you understand what I was going to say, is that this one particularly, you have to make sure that when you're using it, because it just makes holes, that you know that where this one goes. Because this is the side that cuts and this side does not. So, anyways, so I just wanted to show you that, but I'm going to put this away because we're going to make Christmas cards. Woohoo! And I just want to let you know that my husband is home. I thought he would be watching the football game or something like that, and he's not. He's playing his acoustic guitar. So if you hear some music, that is my husband playing his guitar. Okay, so I said we're going to do Christmas cards with this and with this, so I'm going to do one of each of the colors. And I'm going to pair it with the Poinsettia Petals bundle. This is a great bundle, and I kind of just been going through all of my dies and my punches and just using it with this paper. But for tonight, I decided to just stick with this because I want to focus on these 3 dies. So, okay, so I'm just going to get rid of these so I have a little bit more room, so that we can talk about these dies. And I'm going to bring in a sheet of the paper, the Christmas Classic 6x6. And this is the shaded spruce. It's shaded spruce, Sahara sand, and cherry cobbler. And you get to decide what, side. And what is really nice about this is that it's monochromatic. So you can really pretty much pair it with anything, or just stick with the color green and make a card. You don't have to go, oh, what goes with this, or see if you have something that matches it. You can just stick with that color and it'll look good. Okay, so the first thing that I found out is what we're going to do now is to just die cut it. So this one has some really fun little swirly things here. And this is the side that cuts. So you have to remember that when you are going to be using it, you want to make sure that, like, if I put it here, like this, and I die cut it, this is the piece that's going to be gone is here, and it's going to be plain. And this big chunk is going to be the part that has decoration. So you have to really kind of remember that when you're working with this. So the first couple of times I was like, oops, I cut it wrong. So you really have to kind of pay attention to that. And once you've used it a few times, it should be okay. So for my first card, we're just going to cut it down the middle and use it and separate it. So the card that I'm going to do is going to be 2 7/8 of an inch wide by 5 1/8, and I'm going to cut that at 2 7/8. And we're going to save that other piece then for, I'm going to save that other piece for something else. So I got this piece from here, and I'm just going to put this to the side. So this is the piece that I'm working with, and all we're going to do is we're going to cut it literally here or down there. So remember, if I do it this way, this piece is going to be plain, and then this bottom piece will have the decoration. So that's how I kind of want it, because I'm going to be putting my poinsettia over here. So I want it to be seen. I want everyone to be able to see the bottom. So I made it at 2 7/8 because that will give me about an inch room so that I could put the sentiment. So I'm just gonna step out of camera really quick because I don't want to bring my big shot in here and go back and forth. It's really close to me, and just cut this. And here's the kind of cool thing about it is that it's really long. It's like 6 inches long. So you can move it around so you can figure out what you want to do. You know, if you want it to go a certain way. And for this one, it doesn't matter because it goes off. So I want to have a bigger top and a little bit less on the bottom. So I'm going to just die cut it like that. Okay, so here's what we got. We have those pieces. So this is the first way, the easy way, the way that I think this is so awesome, is that it just cuts the paper in half. So now we have this opening that we can fill. So this is what I'm focusing on and showing you how to use these dies. So then, let's see. So here is it's not a full-size piece of white, but basically, because I don't need it, I want it to be like this. You see how cool that's looking? And then we're gonna put our flower there, and then we're gonna put a sentiment over there. But this is what I wanted to focus on. When you cut it, you can open it, and you're done. That to me is so beautiful, just the way it is like that. So we are going to stamp right here from the Poinsettia bundle. It has some really great sentiments, and for this one we're going to do Happy Holidays, and I'm going to pull out gold because I think gold looks great with a red flower in the green. So we're going to do gold. And the reason why I'm doing this now is because actually let me back up. I want to put this on here because if I don't do it exactly perfect and I don't want to secure this down and then heat set it, then it'll bubble and all that. So I'm doing it when it's just like this for starters, knowing that the flower is going to be over here. But I need to bring my flower in. So here are the pieces of the flower that I already did, and I'm doing 2 of the large ones, and then 1 of the medium ones, and then the small one, and then the very, very small one. And he's gonna go over here, or she, like that. Doesn't that look so pretty? And then we're gonna put the sentiment over here, like I said. Okay, so I know that I'm going to be putting it in this area, but I'm going to move this away I'm going to bring in my embossing buddy. And now we're going to stamp that Happy Holidays over here. And we'll emboss that then. So you don't really need to have a full 4 by 5 1/4 or 5 1/8 in this case piece of paper. This one looks like it's about 3.5 inches for this. Okay, hopefully it'll go quicker here. Okay. So it's going to go like that and like that. Okay, so we need to put it on a piece of green cardstock. So we're going to layer it on a piece of green cardstock. And wow, look, magically it happened. Ta-da! Okay, so we have that. And, okay, so many of you may or may not have the Poinsettia, which I absolutely love this bundle. I love how it makes little indentations in here. And so you don't really need to do a dang thing with it. All you got to do is glue these together. But before you glue them, you do need to manipulate them with your bone folder. Because it's just much easier. And I like to do like curling. And then I also like to go back and just use my fingers and kind of smush them in together. And you're going to do that to all of them so that it kind of wakes up and is really pretty. And when you do, then you're going to get this. And then I used, there's 2 centers, and I used the solid one and made a gold solid image to match our sentiment. Okay, and then we're going to just put this on Whisper White. Okay, but here is another thing that I wanted to share with you or in making this card. I'm just going to put this on here really quick. We don't need any ribbon because of that wonderful opening there, and the wow color of the flower just pops on here. And I really do like it on white because this is a dark color. Okay, so we have these leaves here. So we needed to add some leaves. And since I'm pulling out gold to make it Christmassy, then we're going to do the leaves in embossed in green. But here's a fun little thing, and I'm sure if you have this set, maybe you have done this or maybe you haven't done it. You can emboss the outside in the gold. And then heat set it. And then stamp right over the gold with the filler image. And I'm using the Just Jade cardstock because I picked a pattern that is pretty dark from there. Like this other side is light, so if I used that side, I would probably just use Just Jade. But I wanted to do this, and you may or may not remember, I said Just Jade matches that, and you're going, ew, that doesn't look really that good. But I just wanted to show you that it kind of does look pretty good. If you stamp the filler image in the shaded spruce, and then it'll match just perfectly. Okay, so there it is. And then I die cut some already, so I don't have to keep doing that because there is a lot of die cutting going on here. And to me, this makes it come alive because now we can see the green, but yet it blends perfectly because we put some of the shaded spruce ink color in it. And then I die cut 2 of these in gold that we can stick in here. Wherever you want it to go. Okay, so even though I don't have that one down, isn't that pretty? I just love it. So we just talked about taking about 1 inch off of a regular layer of cardstock or designer series paper, picking out where you want to go with it, decide if you want it to be bigger on the bottom or in the middle. Obviously, to me, this is a better layout if you're going to put any kind of flower. So just if you're not doing Christmas, if you were going to do something else, this to me is a great layout. Tall on the top and then smaller on the bottom by just splitting it. So that was my first one. That's the easy way to use this die. Okay, so now we're going to do another one. And hopefully I will do it well. Okay. The next one we're going to use the cherry cobbler piece, and I had planned to use a different one, but I used it all up, so we're going to try this one out. Oh, well, no, I'm not going to say that. Okay, so this, I'm going to put this to the side because I don't want that to get ruined. Okay, so for this one, we are going to be using this baby right here. And remember, we got to make sure that we know that this is the part that cuts. And we're going to add another layer underneath it. And how are we going to make sure that it's exactly the same and it's going to fit and all that? So I'm going to show you, at least this is how I have done it, and it works. So I'm going to do the same dimensions of layers. So this is a 4, and then this is a 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So this is what I want it to be, is the same thing as a 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So I'm going to cut it, because we're doing a little bit something different, to be only 2 3/4 of an inch wide by 5/8. So I'm going to do that. So 2 3/4 by 5 1/8. Okay, and so I'm not sure which side we're going to use yet. Okay, because the one I wanted to use, I already used it all up. I'm kind of bummed about that, but that's okay. I have a whole bunch of them. Okay, so for this one, like I said, it cuts up here. So we are going to cut here, but now we're going to take this and we're going to also cut this one so that it matches. And how are we going to do that? Should you just always go over here? Should you always go over here? Yes, as a matter of fact, you should. So my recommendation for you is to cut your paper down like this first. Don't start cutting everything, because that way you save the pieces. And then bring it, for my card, I already know, I want to make sure this is lined up here, or that this side is lined up here. And then you can go ahead and cut it. So for this one, I am going to do it this way, and I'm going to make sure, and I'm going to cut this like that, and I'll be right back. I'm sorry, I am stepping out of camera. I do not have the other new Big Shot, and I'm not going to get it until one of the 3 Big Shots I have dies here. So when that happens, I'll be excited to get that new one, but I'm not going to just buy one. Oh, you know what? Look, I did it wrong. I told you what to do, and then I did it wrong. Wow, how embarrassing. Didn't even notice that when I came back. Okay, so that's exactly what I was talking about not to do, and I did it. So now we're going to try that again. Yeah. Okay, so again, we have to make sure that that is at, no, I want it like that. So I want to cut off the bottom so that I have that. So the thing is on the bottom. I'm going to try that again, guys. Second time's a charm. Ooh, oh boy. Okay, so I think this looks pretty good. I like it. We don't even have to use it, but obviously this is way cooler when you do it like that. But now we're adding a layer. So now I did that one correctly the second time. And now we're gonna make sure to do it correctly on the white one. Okay. So this is kind of silly, but this is how I do it, and hopefully you'll understand. So I did line it up like that, and I'm just going to make sure. Okay, yeah, because what if you were going to be putting your sentiment, you know, and it wasn't going to fit? You can move this around so that it can work wherever you want to put it. So we did it like that, so I'm going to go over there and cut this piece. Ta-da! So now we have two pieces. Oh, I just love that. Isn't that so cool? I love it. Okay, so we have that. But what are we going to do? Because this is white and that's that. What color do you think we should be putting on there? It should be cherry cobbler because we want it to really pop out. So when you do, you get this. So you can layer. So think about all the different layering. Now you could do it with this one as well. But I think this one, the dotted one, you could just keep adding on and on and on and on. And I think that looks really cool with the two. So we're highlighting the white, pulling that out, and putting that on that. So the monochromatic is going good here. Okay, so then what color poinsettia flower should we put on it? Should we put on the cherry cobbler one? Or how about white? So I have a white one. Okay, and I don't have my... Which one do you guys think would look good? White or cherry cobbler? I don't know. I think they look both awesome. White really, to me, is a wow factor. I stamped the sentiment in silver, so then we could bring in silver. Where's that little dude? He's not here, of course. Oh, right here he is. Oh, is that not cute? And we could put, I die cut 2 leaves in shaded spruce. Now, there's no stamping going on here except for the sentiment. But another thing that you could do that's kind of fun and softens it up is that you could add some white to your petals, but this is a white one, or your actual leaves. And because of the detail that's in here, if you kind of lightly go over it, then it'll come to life and you can see the detail in it, and it kind of, I don't know, makes it like frosted looking. So we could add some of those under there. Or this one, I did the frosted look on the cherry cobbler. So we could do that one here. They're both so dang pretty. And there's no stamping going on here. Did the leaves over here, Didn't do the leaves here. Put gold in here. You could put silver, but I want to pull out this white stripe because it's just really cool, the curve there. So I chose white. Plus we use the white on the flower. Dang, that's pretty. But I kind of like the white one now that I'm seeing it more. It just really pops. Kay's card, what do you think? Which one do you like? I actually cannot see any comments, so I don't know. Okay, so first we can split it in half or split it down the middle, add our sentiment. Here we're adding a second layer, and you can experiment and add more layers to it. And then the third one, we're going to use the Sahara Sand card or designer series paper. And this one is a 3-inch piece by 5 1/8 that I have. And what we're gonna do, or what I already did, is using this one again. I'm just gonna clean it really quickly. As we know that the top part here it has to be facing up. Okay, I want to create a middle. That's what I'm trying to say here. So this goes up, and when I cut it, this will come off. Okay? Then I'm going to turn my paper around, and I want to do the same thing, so I just have a middle decoration. So that is what we're going to do. So, making sure that it's pointing up, because I want to actually, for this one, we pointed it down to keep it. I want to keep the middle, so I'm going to run it through this way. Okay, so I have that piece. But this doesn't look really all that exciting because it's not matching. So you can just flip this. Just flip it so that it is, wait. See, now I'm getting myself all confused. Okay, there we go. Look at that. Isn't that so cool? You just flip it, and you'll be able to get them so that you have like a curve that goes, you know, it should go like that. I don't want it to be, I'm getting myself, see, this is so confusing, but then you can kind of decide how you want your middle piece to go. And I want it to match kind of the same way that it's going. So maybe like that. We'll do that. All right, so then now we have that. And we're going to put in white to bring out the white. Okay, we're still using the poinsettia, but this time we're going to be using the red velvet paper. Look at how this is going to pop. And then we are going to be using a Sahara Sand card base, but we need a layer. And if you, because this is so neutral, you could do a lot of things. But since this paper is so pretty, I mean, this red is just absolutely gorgeous. if we put just a little bit of red on there, it really just brings it all home together really well, like that. So let's put that together. So this white piece right here, I embossed with the Subtle embossing folder. And I could have used, I went through a lot of them, and I just wanted it to be as soft as possible just to focus on the actual dies themselves. The swirly thing and then the flower. So I wanted it to be quite subtle. Okay, and now we're going to add this that we die cut. So we've talked about just cutting a piece off and separating it so that you could put a sentiment in the middle. Then I showed you that you can add layers to it. Now this one is the middle. And of course my glue, my wonderful glue, my Tombow glue is all out, and I went to go get a new one from my stash and there was nothing there. So now I have to use glue dots or my two-way glue, and that's just not what I'm looking to use. I like to use my Tombow glue for this. Okay, and so then for this particular, to finish off the top of the flower, where the heck is it? It's supposed to, oh, here it is. I got a gold one, so we'll put that on there. And just for fun, to be a little different, because I can't do things the same, I thought, because since I used the red velvet, I wanted to use garden green. So those would be the leaves for it. And then, I don't know, I think I want more up here. Oh, this is so pretty. And then I embossed and die cut these little berries and colored them with Daffodil Delight Dark. Ugh. Okay, much better. Whew. Oh, I just love it. And then we'll get a sentiment, and here I did warm wishes from our home to yours, and I'm going to put it right there. Oh, I love it. So I just wanted to show you how fun it is to use these dies. I don't know what I did with the third one. I think I left it over there. From the Quiet Curvy bundle. The bundle's going to be in the catalog, the spring one, and it's $41.25, but it's only $41.25 now, where you save 10%. It's not going to be a bundle in the new mini catalog. So the dies are very fun, and I just showed you the 3 different easy ways that you can use those dies with any of your stamp sets. And then I did show you the original card that comes with the bundle that I had made with it. So it is a cute bundle, and the dies are pretty cool. So I hope you had fun. I know I didn't really actually make them, but I thought it would be kind of boring for me to cut everything. But I don't know. I don't know which one is my favorite. I kind of like them all. Ooh, so pretty. I love Christmas, and I love making cards. Well, thanks you guys so much for joining me. Have a great rest of your night.